It's been 6 months that I've been playing Daggerheart pretty religiously, and it turns out that a lot of the accessories that I have, the ones that I thought I'd be using the most, I don't use that much. But other ones, I couldn't live without. So I'm just waiting for a package of Daggerheart's newest accessory so we can look at it together, and I'm also going to go through every other accessory I use. Links to everything in the description below.
Hey man, package.
Oh, you thought that box was going to hit me? Nope, it was a retention hack. Oh god, oh that's... okay. So yeah, let's start with this, shall we? This is from the Critical Role shop. It cost me about 35 bucks, I think. I actually didn't realize what it was. I don't think I read it properly. I thought when I bought this, it was a tiny folio with some folders for your character sheets and also 1 or 2 pages of card holders for players only. I thought it was a player folio. So I got this. I was excited. I did not realize it's a thick boy. This is not just for players. This is for GMs as well. There's enough card sockets in here. I know they're not called card sockets, but that's what we'll call them. There's enough in here for every card in the core rulebook and then some. I think there's 360 card sockets in here, and I think there's 290 cards in the core rulebook. So you can print off duplicates and you can print off all the stuff in the void and just fill it with that stuff, which is fantastic. I can't fault it, except I already have one now. But if you don't have something, it's 5 stars. But I'll show you what I have been using for the same thing. I got this. Where is it? It's fundamentally the same thing. It's actually not as good. It's not as good because it doesn't have a section for character sheets. It is purely just card holders. And I've filled it out, and you can see the blank bits are the ones my players have taken. And it was when I first got this, it was a dream come true. What I'm going to do is I'm going to offer this to my player, and if she wants to use it, she can use this. But if she doesn't want to use this, I'm putting all this in here. So it is better. It is better. But I think this was cheaper. And it's not just the card holder, I should say. There are multiple folders at the front for multiple character sheets as well. Okay, well, we're talking about like card holders as well. You have another option, and this is just to showcase something else. This actually isn't something that I personally use. I do use it occasionally, but compared to the folders, it doesn't get as much use. This is 3D printed from Etsy. I will leave a link in the description. I don't store cards in here at all times. It's more for when I have a lot of cards floating about, when a new character is creating them and they're looking through a bunch of like spells or something, and he gives them all back to me, and I don't have time to put them all back in that folder. I can just throw them in something like this and store them in there like temporarily. So this is the Etsy page where you can get this stuff for anyone who wants to know. Inside here, I have card holders that hold like all the cards that you would need for, say, a domain or something like that. And then you have multiple things, so it's kind of like you just slot them in and out. It's like easier to use. It is easier to use than the card folder when you're like pulling cards in and out a lot kind of thing. But the card folder is easier to flick through. So it really does depend on what you prefer completely. So it's not something I use that much, if I'm being honest, but I think some people will love it. While we're on this then, on this Wux Nook 3D page, I also have a bunch of other stuff from there, which I genuinely do use a lot. And the first one up is, in fact, he's got a bundle going on here, which is kind of everything I'm showing here. So the first thing I've got is range sticks, and you can make these yourself, right? It's nice to have like a good, sturdy physical quality version of it though. I no longer think about distance in my Daggerheart games. I just have 3 of these on the table and the players pick it up and they kind of look and like, oh, that's far range or that's close range. And that has sped up my games an immense amount. Just not having to worry about that at all. My players no longer ever ask me, oh, how far is that away? Or like, how many feet is that? Or why can I, because they can just hold that up and see really quickly. I use battle mats. And the other thing that I think is a must-have for me, I could not, if I had to play Daggerheart without this, it would be less fun, straight up. And that is my fear tracker. This thing is a dream come true. Honestly, I love it to bits, and if I do any D&D games in the future, I'm probably going to incorporate this in some way. It'll be like a countdown for something else. It's so fun to just have that on top of a GM screen. Next up is Daggerheart GM screen. Now, while you cannot get this GM screen, it is the officially licensed one, which I love to bits from the outside and for the quality of it. I did not like the inside of it, and I actually went ahead and printed out my own Daggerheart information for each page. This stuff is on my Patreon. If anyone wants to go and like print this out, and you can put it on any GM screen you have, including D&D ones. There's 3 pages here. I have a 4th page here as well, so it can go on like a GM screen for 4 different things. This last page is kind of stuff that is a bit more obvious. It's like what a reaction roll is and how players use armor and what you can do when spotlighting an enemy. It's kind of stuff that is on the main GM screen that you got with the limited edition, where it's just kind of like once you've played the game a few times, you just don't need that information anymore. It kind of just takes up a lot of space. And I found myself wanting information that maybe wasn't on there. So I've got like, I don't know if you guys can see this, but quick reference, advantage and disadvantage, how to help an ally, group action stuff, and tag team roles. I have the condition stuff. I have the traits that you can roll and what they mean. And I have difficulty at the bottom for choosing roles. Then I have optional GM mechanics, like fate rolls, fall and collision damage, underwater combat and movement, and what happens when a PC attacks a PC, which I really wanted on here myself. Then I have ranges, which I love to bits for multiple reasons. It says like melee, within touching distance 5 feet, very close, able to see their fine details 5 to 10 feet. I figured out recently that I'm really bad with distances. Like if I was in the middle of like a football field and there was an object 50 feet away and you asked me how far is that object away, I would have no clue. I would be like, I don't know, like 200 feet. No, the 30 feet, I'm so bad at distances. I don't know what it is. My brain just doesn't work with them. Like I can tell you what is 6 feet away from me because I kind of just think, okay, if I lie on the ground right now, where would my head hit? And I could double that distance to 12 feet and know what is 12 feet away. But past that, it gets real blurry. So when I imagine scenes in my head and my players ask me, how far away are they? I'm like, I don't know. And it's so nice to have a list here that is like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, you can see their fine details, so they're 10 feet away. Or, okay, you're able to see their appearance, but not really any details. They're like, 70 feet away. Or you can see their shape. You know roughly their shape, but you don't know any details. You're like, well, that's 200 feet away. So that's really cool. And then I've got a thing here for improvising enemies on the fly. This is just all stuff that's in the core rulebook. There's nothing here that's like special. I've got short rests and long rests, the average costs of things, including equipment, death moves, and scars. And, if you like the original GM screen, I'm all for it. But this in particular, I've made a GM screen that I really want. Those are up on my Patreon to print out if you're interested. So that's my GM screen and Fate Tracker setup. 100% would I get a Fate Tracker. Whether it's something that sits on the GM screen or whether it's something that you just have by the side, it's so fun to use a Fate Tracker. The only thing I will say about ones that sit on top of the GM screen is it's a lot better to have a 3-panel GM screen. Most D&D ones, I think, have 4 panels. And it makes it a little bit more difficult because you have to choose a side or put it directly in the middle. It just gets a little bit wonky. On to, I think, my favorite Daggerheart accessory that every GM should have. Certainly, like, players should get one of these if they don't get like a folio or like some kind of folder to hold it together. But these dirt cheap. You can get a ton of them that will just last you your Daggerheart career card holders. 1 sleeve card holders. You can also put these in a folder, which is really useful. They're double-sided. I've not talked to that many other like Daggerheart GMs. I'd be interested to know, but I have found that while my players really like the cards for making the character, it's really nice to like, okay, here's the 3 things I can have. I'm going to choose from these cards, and then I'm going to pick a new card every level. It's really nice. But when it comes to actually playing the game, they prefer to have it all in one place in a sheet. Like, I've not had anyone yet who's like, oh yeah, I like having 7 cards in my hand that I flip through. So get yourself one of these. And then equally, just a plastic folder to put this in with your character sheets, with your pencils. And also, this is a cheeky one because it's so basic, but mechanical pencils with the rubber on the end, with the eraser, is a dream come true. And once again, we bought like a multi-pack of these and we have enough to just last us years. So we got like these 3, I think are like, in a weird way, necessary for the way I play Daggerheart, which is in person, pen and paper, cards, character sheet, pencil. It sounds so basic, but honestly, kind of changed the way I played the game. It made organization and everything so much easier. Obviously, you need the core rulebook because you need the cards and you need the rules. And just a few more of these now. Daggerheart dice. these dice have really genuinely grown on me. So, oh, that looks pretty sweet actually. So these are the standard normal dice, and then you have your hope and fear dice right there. I always feel like whenever because I don't play it, right? Because I'm a forever GM of Daggerheart now. I'm so jealous when people use these dice and when people use my limited edition ones. I'm like, man, I want to use them so much. Like, part of me wishes that I was rolling duality dice as a GM instead of a D20. Uh-oh. YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. Oh my God, I'm rewatching it now and it's so bad. Like, look at this. This is live. This is live right now. It's so laggy. Oh my God, I'm showing off dice now. Okay, bro.